Бонжур, мальчишки и девчонки. Вы смотрите третий день рукожопных обзоров из Бельгии. Обойдемся без прелюдий. Я избавил вас от необходимости смотреть, как 1,5 часа мужик в поезде играет в детские игрушки на телефоне и чвякает конфетой. Я уже приблизился к сегодняшнему нашему объекту. Это пивоварня Z, или в простонародье «Сопротивление». Вон их логотип висит. Выбрал я эту пивоварню не случайно и по двум причинам. Во-первых, из-за их бомбического имперского стаута камерадский бальзамика, который объединяет в себе имперский стаут и от-брюн, и плюс еще бальзамический соус. А также потому, что это единственная или одна из немногих крафтовых пивоварен Бельгии, которые приходят мне на ум, именно крафтовых. Я заметил такую отличительную черту бельгийских пивоварен, которые я уже обсудил с Томасом из Бургунь-де-Фландерс. Все пивоварни в Бельгии открыты для туристов, то есть будь то экскурсия с гидом по предварительной записи или самоличное посещение пивоварни, по информации на сайте ты можешь попасть на любую. Z не исключение. За 10 евро я приехал сюда один, без какой-либо группы. Дегустация будет 2 пивасов пивоварни, по идее, но об этом потом. И вторая особенность, которая вытекает как бы из первой. Пивоварни не очень жалуют другие пивоварни, то есть нету коллабораций, нету какого-то такого обмена опытом. Это все интересно, это все попробуем сейчас прояснить, а пока что заходим. Итак, мы вошли на пивоварню, меня встретил Алекс. Вот она так выглядит. Вот Алекс. So, what can you tell us? What is in the barrels right now?
And these barrels are Okimoki. That's sour stout, aged for 4 to 9 months on this year on Ardmore and Ardbeg barrels.
And those are whiskey? Or?
Yeah, those are whiskey barrels. But we have like, you will see on the end, we have more barrels where the Flemish red is, where it's more beer in barrels.
And today is the bottling day?
Yeah, today we bottle oak leaf. That's like our oat bruin. And instead of aged on fruit, we age it on oak leaves that we pick from a forest like 500 meters away.
Oh, great. And this is some tasting room?
Yeah, for groups that come to visit the brewery can have a drink at the tasting. So that's our malt mill.
Дробилка. Это варочный порядок, видимо.
So this is our 20 hectoliter brew house. It's Czech, and we heat it up with steam. So that's our mashing kettle, where we also boil, and we do like infusion steps, so different temperature steps. And after 2 hours we pump it to the lauter tun to filter the beer, and then it runs back to the mash / cooking kettle. And we boil normally 90 minutes, and then we pump it to the whirlpool to get hops out, and then we pump it through the heat exchanger to the fermenters.
And what are the names on the fermenters?
They're characters from a Flemish TV show. Like it's a comic TV show, but it's a Belgium thing. You don't. It's not international.
Вон происходит как раз укупорка. Туда, наверное, не пойдем. Ребята работают, трудятся.
These are wine fermenters. So these are wine fermenters. So they have no conical bottom, but a flat bottom. So we can't reuse the yeast. We always use new yeast to ferment our beers. And this is only for primary fermentation. We pump it to other tanks for secondary fermentation.
And the other tanks are further. Hello. Пахнет под брюном. Это для вторичного брожения танки. Great smell.
Thank you.
Another oak leaf.
Oak leaf for kegs. So we split up the batch into bottles. This is for bottles today, and this is for kegs. Here we have more tanks to mature the beer, to dry hop the beer. So we put in hops in those tanks together with the beer, minimum 2 weeks. And then when we need beer on bottle, we bottle it always in this tank. We also store our hops in here, and our hoppy beer on kegs we also store in here.
Вот бочковая зона. Огромные бочки. И много как. So this is for oat brewing to be infused.
Yeah, so there's only one beer in here, that's the oat brewing, and we barrel age it for minimum 1 year. And if we need beer on bottle, we blend different barrels to get on taste that we want. And you can see it, that was from the oak leaf. In September we pick oak leaves with 15 people in the forest, and then it's a big volume. We put the leaves in a tank, and then we pump a blend of barrel-aged beer on the leaves.
And what kind of taste the leaves do to the beer?
They have a very high level of tannins, like wood.
So it makes it more sour, like?
No, more dry, not more sour. More a dry touch, like red wine. And also it gives it an organic taste.
Is it your thing, or someone else is doing the same?
No, we are the only one that's doing it. We've got the idea from oak leaf wine. They make a wine of oak leaves, and we pitched the idea on our oat brewing.
And oat brewing with fruit infused only are available once a year, and there's no available bottles right now.
We have available bottles, but we do only the infusion once a year with the harvest of the fruit. Mm-hmm. So in July, the raspberries are ready in Belgium, also the cherries, and then we go to the farmers and get the fruit, and then we put the fruit in the stainless steel tanks, but also in those cubes. And we pump also beer to it, and then we let it a few months rest on the beer, so the wild yeast can eat the sugars of the fruit, and then we bottle it. So in October we bottled the raspberry. I think in December we bottled the cherry, and today we bottled the oak leaf, and that's already since September. The beer was since September on the leaves, and the beer was already a year on barrel.
Пахнет фруктами и вином. Скорее виноградом и вином. Очень круто. And every barrel got a name of some character.
Yes, these instead of using numbers on our barrels, these are our musical heroes.
Oh.
Like a few years ago, we had like the Roman numbers, and so our barrels were numbered. But then when the four big ones, four big barrels came in, four footers, they have the names of the Ramones. And then we pitched the idea on naming our small barrels.
I want Tupac, Elvis Presley / nice idea.
Thank you.
Вот, наверное, последний шаг экскурсии, но самый приятный. Возможность отведать пиво. Вот она вся линейка. Регулярные сорта. Сорта с фруктами, которые появляются раз в год. И Super Boil. Это This is the beer which are boiling for
16 hours.
16 hours.
Yeah, that's our oat bruin, but instead of boiling 90 minutes, like the normal version, we boil it for 16 hours. So you have a massive caramelization effect. And after 60, we boil it like spaghetti sauce, not a heavy boil, but like simmering. And we evaporate 50%. And then at the end of the boil, we add water again, because we don't want to have a high gravity beer, but we just want to have the caramelization effect. And then we do the normal process of the oat bruin. And it gives a very different taste than our regular oat bruin.
Great. I've noticed that all the breweries in Belgium are open to the visitors. You can either have a guided tour or just
Individual?
Yeah, or just move around the brewery by yourself. But what about collaborations? Do you have that kind of practice to have another brewery and collaborate to brew something together?
Yeah, in Belgium it's not a tradition that we do collabs. We personally did already a few, but we are not into so much doing collabs. We want to show what we do, but to make a new beer, then you have to compromise with other brewers, and we have our own typical ideas.
To be individual.
Yeah, we already are with two brewers, so we have to convince each other for brews. So we are not into doing like each month a collab, but we are not against it. But it's a different approach on brewing.
I'm from Russia, and only half breweries, I believe, got their own places to brew, and there is a thing like contract brewing, when you rent powers of the brewery to brew your own beer. Is there contract breweries in Belgium, or everyone got their own place?
No, there are like 500 beer businesses, and I think 300 have their own brewery, and 200 rent or let brew their beer at the brewery.
There's such thing in Belgium as well. Is there any number of craft breweries which are not as much traditional, but more like experimenting?
Yes, but it's not the big volume, because we have a big tradition of brewing, so even we are a lot of influenced by the Belgium tradition, and what we do with Verzet is like taking American styles and what's happening not in Belgium, taking it on Belgium beer styles, but we're not making hazy IPAs, we're not making all the trendy stuff that's at the moment, but we're looking what's happening and translate it to the Belgian tradition. But you have people in Belgium, more in the big cities, in Brussels and in Ghent, that make American-inspired beer styles, but that's not the big volume in Belgium.
And can you name a couple of breweries that are doing hazy IPAs or something like that?
L'Hermitage from Brussels and Dock Brewing Company in Ghent. They have a brew pub, but they also sell to other bars, and they are very into hoppy stuff, hazy IPAs, super dry hopped stuff. Kettle sours, that kind of stuff.
I believe you've sent your beers to the Big Craft Dei in Moscow last year. Are you going to participate in this year?
We didn't know that we participated. I think a distributor of us sent it to Russia.
Well, it's a very big festival with 200 breweries from all over the world, with hundreds of different beers, and at Verzet was there. But it's strange that you're not you're not knowing you've entered the festival without even knowing it. It's a strange thing. Those are some beers from Russia. This is one of the top selling beers in the Goza style, tomato Goza. Since you're experimentators as well, I think you might like it. This one is one of the top beers for me in this year. It's a very good and popular brewery, STAMM beer. It's imperial stout, barrel aged on bourbon with coconut and vanilla. Thank you. And this little badass is another one from the first brewery. It's mead aged in bourbon barrels, pretty interesting as well. So might want to try it someday with all the crew. Надо затарить Verzeta, пока есть возможность. Регулярные сорта по 1,5 евро. Эти по 3, большие бутылки прошлогодние 10. Супербойл, большая бутылка 8. И гифтовая коробка с 4 сортами 12 евро. А это барчик, в котором отдыхают большие группы туристов, которые приезжают. Это, видимо, приезжали чувачки из других пивоварен. Wild beer. And those are stickers from the breweries. Did they come here?
Yeah. So Surly we did a collab with. Dr. Rudy was a kettle sour that we did with Surly. We also did one with Burial, a collab. That's also an American brewery. We did the Banjo Funeral with them.
And Wild Beer did come as well.
Yeah, but we didn't do a collab with them.
Just was visiting for some beer tasting.
Yeah. And also the other breweries visited the brewery, but we didn't.
And Firestone, one of the owners, brewers.
A few of the brewers came because they are part of Moordgat, the Belgium that's owning Duvel, that's making Duvel, and Duvel bought a part of Firestone, and they did a Belgium tour of Belgium interesting breweries. So they visited us.
And which are the breweries you can recommend for a visit?
In Belgium?
Yeah.
If you go to Brussels Cantillon, for us, our brewing uncles are Dranke in Dotnes from the XX Bitter, and they also make nice sour beers. If you're in Ghent, Duck Brewing Company, so they do more American style stuff. And L'Hermitage, if you're close to Cantillon, L'Hermitage is like 500 meters away. Dochter van de Korenaar. He's more to the north, and he's making a lot of hoppy beers, also with American hops. And he also do barrel aging stuff, Dochter van de Korenaar. But he doesn't make them sour, but he make fabulous, good barrel aged beer. Last year we have 1,000 visitors, and we're not close to like a big city. And this year we want to go to 2,000. So now we have like an app, like to book, like easy, like you like book a restaurant. You can book a tour in the brewery. So it's easier to book a tour in the brewery. Because we want to have more visitors in the brewery. People then can see what you're doing, how you're doing in it, and feel the place. And then your product, when they drink it in a bar and they already visit the brewery, they have an idea of our story. And
so, thank you very much for introduction to the brewery, the brewing process, the bottling system. Everything is just great. Your beers are great, and this is true Belgian hospitality, when you can visit a brewery when it's just one person, and brewers find the time for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I had a great time. You've got great beers. It's time to move on.
Yeah, thank you. And
if you're in Belgium, take your time, get trained to Amsterdam and visit at Verzet. This is the greatest experience. Всем спасибо, а мы двигаемся дальше. Ну что ж, вышло достаточно продуктивненько. Задал до хрена вопросов, интересующих меня. Получил 7, по-моему, бутылок пива, которые теперь у меня томятся в рюкзаке. Теперь надо как-то из Анзегема выбраться. 1,5-часовая дорога меня ждет. Не знаю, что там с моим рукожопием по картинке получилось, но в любом случае всем спасибо за просмотр. Помните, что пинта хорошо, а кварта лучше. А я прощаюсь с вами до завтрашнего дня.